Centuries ago, Lucifer messed with a new creature. He would call it the Xenomorph, but he forgot about it and decided to never make them a part of hell because he thought they were too dangerous. However, he still left the spell for himself. One day, as Lucifer was visiting the hotel, he would walk out. As his spell book would fall out, Alistair would pick it up, and before giving it back to Lucifer, he would see this Xenomorph spell. As then he gave it back to Lucifer, Lucifer would walk off, and Alistair would smirk as he wondered what a Xenomorph was. As Alistair didn't really know what to do, he was bored, so he decided to try to do the spell from memory. As he would cast the Xenomorph spell, nothing would happen. As he would say, I guess it was a dud. Little did he know that it worked. Suddenly, a Xenomorph egg would form across the other side of town, as it would just sit there with nothing going on. Eventually, though, a hellhound would start to walk by it. As it opened up, the Xenomorph would jump on its face. He would try to pull it out, but the facehugger was too strong, as a Xenomorph would burst from its chest. As Xenomorphs would start to spread, we cut to Charlie, who would be watching TV when suddenly they would get a news alert. As it was Lady Killjoy. As Lady Killjoy was on the news, she would say, well, we are F. There's some sort of strange creature that mutates inside your stomach, bursts out, and then becomes a monster that eats you. We really don't know what created this. The angels? Lucifer? Who knows? But whoever did this, may Satan help us all. As Tom would say, oh my god, I can feel it. As Lady Killjoy would walk away scared, suddenly, Tom would just fart. As Lady Killjoy would smack him and say, I hate you, Tom. And Tom would say, I know. As then we would cut back to Lucifer. As he was watching this, he would say, huh, oh my god, who the F touched my spell book? He would scream. As then we cut back to Charlie and everyone else. As Charlie was with the rest, she would look around and say, oh my god, Angel is out working, we need to go find him. Suddenly, Alistair would summon a force field around the hotel and say, Charlie, the hotel, outside the hotel is not safe. Besides, if he's at work, Val's an overlord. I'm sure he'll keep him safe. Well, relatively safe. Well, he won't let him perish. That's what Alistair said. Charlie said, that's hardly welcome. Besides, we can do this. If only there's a way for us to fly there. It would then say, well, only angels can fly. And my dad, since he used to be an angel, I guess we can wait for him to come. Alistair would say, we don't need him, darling. Charlie would say, yes, we do. We need my dad. He's the only one who can fly. Vaggie would say, actually, as her wings would come out. Charlie would say, what? It's a long story. As they didn't have time for that, Charlie was upset, but since they were surrounded by deadly monsters, they didn't really have time to talk about it. So then, Vaggie began to fly out as she looked for Angel, as she would find Angel on a balcony fighting off some Xenomorphs. As one was about to give him, Vaggie held on to Angel. Angel would then look up at Vaggie and say, hey, thank you for the save. Vaggie would say, weren't you in? I don't want to talk about it. As then, Vaggie would drop Angel off of the hotel. As the force field kept them safe, more Xenomorphs began to surround it. More Xenomorphs tried to pierce the force field, but they weren't strong enough to do so. Alistair would be sitting there with Charlie. As they were talking, suddenly Lucifer would teleport in and said, who did it? Who effing summoned them? As then Alistair would say, okay, I might have saw that in your spell book. And then Lucifer would say, you did this? Charlie would say, it's your fault, Al. Al would say, okay, how was I supposed to know it would do all this? And why would you keep a spell like that in your book? Lucifer would say, I don't know, it's my private spell book of stuff I tested throughout the centuries. Maybe I would keep a few dangerous things in there, since I'm the king of hell. Oh my god, Alistair, how could you... Well, I need to work on a way to solve this. Charlie would say, can't you just destroy them? Yeah, I could destroy a lot of them, but those facehuggers can hide, and those eggs can lay dormant, so I need a way to permanently get rid of them once and for all. Huh. This will take a while. Lucifer would say, okay, everyone stay in and stay quarantined. As then, Lucifer would start to fly away. As Charlie would say, how could you do this, Alistair? Alistair would say, oh, relax, darling. As in, Charlie would look at Alistair and say, "Really?" Alistair would say, "Hey, at least we have some alone time. All of us together. Maybe we should do one of those bonding exercises you like." As Husk would sigh, and Nifty would say, "Yay! Carnage, carnage, carnage! I wish I could go out there. I wish I could watch it. Watch the carnage. Hee hee hee," Nifty would say as she laughed. As Alistair would say, I wonder how the other overlords are doing." As we cut to Camilla Carmine. Camilla Carmine would be walking out of her room, as she didn't really know what was going on. Camilla Carmine was training, so she wouldn't have known about the Xenomorphs, when suddenly she would hear a loud screech. As she pulled out a knife, an angelic one, suddenly a Xenomorph would run at her full speed. Camilla Carmine would jump out of the way last second and cut off its head. As she was shocked, but more would come, as Camilla Carmine would begin to fight them off. However, as one after the other came, she got more and more tired, as she felt like it was over, as she felt like she couldn't keep on fighting forever. As suddenly, they would turn to dust, as Jeshua would walk up to her. The other overlords are staying at a special location. You should follow me." Camilla Carmine would say, "Jess, huh? You always know when to come in time." Jess would laugh and say, "You know me." As all the other overlords would meet, Camilla Carmine would stand there, and Jessica would say, "So what do we do to fight back against them?" As suddenly, Camilla Carmine would say, "I don't think we should do anything. Hell's authorities are already getting to it, and all of Hell is starting to fight back against the Xenomorph, the mobsters, the gangsters, the overlords. Soon, once they start to spread out the Pride Ring, the more powerful demons will have to get involved, and they'll get rid of them, and if we start to fight, we might get in their way." As then suddenly, Vel would laugh and say, "Wow, what a coward." Camilla Carmine would say, "Watch it, I fought off a wave of those things. No matter how many you destroy, more keep coming." It makes more sense to, Vel would get up and say, "I'm not a coward like you. I think we should fight. We should come up with a plan to get rid of them. Who's with me?" Vox and Valentina would both raise their hands. As their bickering continued, though, it would get them nowhere, as we cut to Lucifer. As Lucifer would make something to hunt down the aliens, make something to hunt down the Xenomorphs, as he would create the Predator. As he would create quite a few of them, Lucifer would command a Predator army. His plan was to use them to wipe out the Xenomorph Queen and all the other eggs. And once the Xenomorphs are gone, the Predators can just become, excellent hunters and just assimilate into Hell. That was the plan anyway. As Lucifer prepared the army, they would all turn invisible, as Lucifer would fly towards the city, to the center, where the most Xenomorphs were. As the Xenomorphs charged at Lucifer, Lucifer would start to fly and light them on fire. Lucifer was smart and kept his distance. As the Predators turned invisible, they would go inside the center of the city, as it was underground tunnels. As Xenomorphs were everywhere, the Predators would begin to gun them down, blast them down one by one. As the waves came, more and more were destroyed. However, the Predators started to suffer heavy casualties, so they had to go towards the Queen. Eventually, they would find it, the giant Xenomorph Queen. As it ran, the entire ground shook, as the Xenomorph began to tear through the Predators. As the Predators were nothing to it, even with their blasters, even with their powers that Lucifer gave them, they were nothing compared to this giant Xenomorph Queen. As one by one, each Predator fell, as it seemed like the mission was lost, until one had an idea, as he would overflow his command module to blow up, as suddenly a massive explosion would be heard, as the Xenomorph Queen would die, and the entire place would fall onto itself. As Lucifer would fall down, watching the carnage, as the city had a massive hole in it, he said, "Well, I guess there goes my job." As Lucifer would fly back to the hotel, he would say, "Charlie, yeah, it's done. And oh, don't touch my spell book ever again." As then, Lucifer would fly away. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with all your friends. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. The Xenomorph, Alien vs. Predator, I haven't seen in years. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen the new ones. I don't watch any of them. Xenomorphs were cool when I was little. They scared the crap out of me. I even played like this old 360 game where you can be a predator, an alien, or a human. But if you're a human, there's no predators. At least, I don't think so. Yeah, if you play as a human, that's like the hardest difficulty is human. Basically, Predator is like easy difficulty, Alien is medium difficulty, and and human is like hard difficulty, because you gotta like deal with these aliens coming at you. But yeah, And if there's also no predators you gotta deal with if you're a human, because I guess you think that would be too hard to deal with an invisible thing. I don't really know. They did make the predators really, really overpowered. So maybe that has something to do with it. I have no idea what the game's called. So if any of you guys remember what the game is, please let in the comments below. That would mean a lot to me, because I might play that again sometime. But yeah. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves, because I enjoyed this video. And life has been interesting recently. I had some ups and downs, and honestly, I'm in a good place right now. I'm kind of in like I'm in a really good place right now. Because, well, for the first time ever, I had an amazing time with someone really special to me. I'm not going to say much, because, you know, they wouldn't want me to, like, name them in this video, but, like, I played a dumb furry game with my partner. I can't believe I did that. I mean, I'm not anti-fur or a furry. I'm in the neutral furry spectrum, I guess. But it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of fun. Maybe that makes me a furry. I don't know. It's just fun because how stupid it was. Anyway, hope you had a good day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all your friends. Peace out.